So, if you've ever laid awake at night completely stressing out about your future, I really want you to consider this idea. Career confusion is not a sign of weakness, it is a natural stage of life. So many of us feel this crushing anxiety, right? Like we absolutely have to choose the perfect path right out of the gate. And if we don't, well, we're somehow failing. But let me just validate exactly where you are right now. Feeling confused? It isn't a flaw. It's actually a completely normal, healthy starting point for anyone who really cares about their future.
Hello and welcome to This Explainer. Today we are exploring a really practical guide to choosing the right career. Instead of focusing on that paralyzing anxiety of making one massive permanent decision, because let's face it, that's terrifying, we're going to look at how to redirect your energy. We'll focus on building deep self-awareness and unstoppable daily habits. By the time we finish up here, you're going to have a highly practical, actionable framework for your career journey. Okay, let's dive right in.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, why you feel confused. Second, principles of career success. Third, small habits, big impact. And finally, the psychology of success. Section 1. Why you feel confused. Understanding modern career anxiety. This leads us to that massive, frankly paralyzing question literally every student faces. What should I do? Now, the problem isn't a lack of answers. It's actually that there are way too many answers. You're constantly bombarded with all this conflicting advice. Your parents might be pushing for that stable desk job. Your friends are doing something entirely different. And then your social media feed is just full of teenagers claiming they found the ultimate secret to passive wealth. It is a deafening amount of noise, and honestly, it usually creates far more confusion than clarity. And man, this pressure really builds when we look at the modern landscape. Think about it. Artificial intelligence, data science, cybersecurity, digital marketing, entrepreneurship, design, healthcare, government services, content creation. I mean, a generation ago, career choices were relatively limited and pretty straightforward. Today, you are absolutely drowning in options. And hey, while it's incredible to have so many opportunities, human psychology actually tells us that having too many choices makes decision-making significantly harder. It's just overwhelming. So this illustrates the trap that so many of us fall into. If you use poor decision drivers, like choosing a path strictly based on external pressure, family expectations, chasing social status, or just salary alone, it almost always leads to deep dissatisfaction down the road. Good career guidance, on the other hand, well, that turns inward. It's all about deep interest, building valuable skills, personality alignment, and setting long-term goals. Proper guidance requires internal self-awareness, not just caving in to external pressures. Section 2. Principles of career success. Building your foundational framework. First things first, we need to completely redefine this word. What actually is success? Let's bust a major myth right now. Success is not determined by simply choosing whatever career happens to be trending on the internet today. Instead, success comes from choosing a career that genuinely aligns with your strengths and then consistently working toward excellence in that specific field. It's really a combination of alignment and effort, not just randomly picking the right lottery ticket. Achieving that success? Well, that requires a few core principles. Principle 1 is the absolute foundation. Know yourself. Like, what subjects do you actually enjoy? When do you completely lose track of time? Principle 2, build valuable skills. In today's world, highly valuable skills like communication, problem solving, and utilizing AI tools, those matter way more than just having a piece of paper with a degree on it. Principle 3 is to think long-term. You gotta stop asking what will give you quick success and start asking what you can improve at for the next 10 years. And Principle 4, continuous learning. The world just moves way too fast to stop learning once you leave school. But here is the crucial differentiator, okay? Motivation versus consistency. Motivation is just a feeling. It's totally fleeting. It depends on your mood, the weather, or honestly what you had for breakfast. But consistency, that is an action. It creates extraordinary results over time. True success doesn't belong to the people who only work when they feel motivated. It belongs to the people who show up and do the work, especially when they are entirely unmotivated. Section 3. Small habits, big impact. The daily roadmap to excellence. So, success is built every single day. An ideal daily framework might start with reading for just 20 minutes to sharpen your decision-making and writing down your daily goals to really lock in your focus. Then, during the day, spend 30 minutes learning a new skill, maybe some basic programming, or even practicing public speaking. Make sure to exercise for 20 to 30 minutes to keep your mind energized. And finally, do a quick nightly reflection before bed. Just ask yourself, what did I actually learn today? These 5 habits are incredibly achievable, and they are literally the exact building blocks of long-term career success. Section 4. The Psychology of Success, How Behavior Transforms Your Future. 3,650. Okay, do you know what this number represents? If you read just 10 pages a day, which, let's be real, takes maybe 15 or 20 minutes, by the end of 1 year, you will have read 3,650 pages. That is the equivalent of reading a dozen transformative books a year, all from just a few spare minutes a day. This brilliantly illustrates the compound effect. Small, tiny actions repeated daily produce massive, undeniable results over time. And the neuroscience behind why this works is absolutely fascinating. When you complete meaningful tasks, like ticking off those daily habits we just talked about, your brain releases dopamine. This creates a really nice feeling of immediate satisfaction and positive reinforcement, which organically drives even more motivation. But most importantly, every single time you complete a task, you are literally sending a message to your brain that says, hey, I can do difficult things. And that naturally snowballs into massive self-confidence. Over time, that confidence shifts how you fundamentally view yourself. As psychologists tell us, your habits create your identity, and your identity shapes your future. Think about it. When you sit down to study regularly, you aren't just memorizing facts. You are literally changing your identity to view yourself as a disciplined learner. When you practice communicating, you start to see yourself as a confident speaker. Basically, you become what you repeatedly do. And that identity formation relies on one really critical concept, the growth mindset. It is this deep-seated belief that you aren't just fixed in place, that you can and you will improve through effort and learning. When you adopt a growth mindset, failure is no longer some permanent reflection of your worth. It's simply data. It's just feedback that helps you adjust your approach and keep progressing right toward your goals. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with one simple yet profoundly important question. What will you improve tomorrow? Your future is not determined by one massive, agonizing career decision that you have to make today. Not at all. It is determined by the small, manageable choices you make every single day. So let's stop stressing over finding that single perfect job, and let's start taking immediate, daily action to build your skills and your self-awareness. Trust the process, embrace those habits, and go build a future you are incredibly proud of.